We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Devin Haney reacts and celebrates Ryan Garcia being suspended. He thanks his team. After the news broke that Devin Haney is now back undefeated and Ryan Garcia, the fight is like it never existed. Devin Haney said in a statement prepared for ESPN, "I want to thank the commission and to the fans who stood by me during the whole process. The facts are the facts, and I wasn't on an even playing field. Happy I was able to receive justice for what happened. It's all part of my story, and it's only going to make me better. I look to enjoy this time with my family and friends and see what's next." Devin Haney goes on to say, "I'm a clean athlete, and boxing is a brutal sport where one fight can literally change your life. I think it's important for fighters to be clean, and I want to become an advocate for clean athletes for my experience in this situation." Now on X, he put out some tweets. "Thank you to Pat English and John Hornewer, my attorneys. The commission is only going to take this guaranteed money, not from his pay-per-view. We all know fighters take small guarantees and bank on pay-per-view numbers. Ick sucker." And this was in response to Fight Hype. Now, my honest opinion, I'm glad we got an official verdict. I find the celebrating to be bizarre. I'm not gonna lie to you, kid. The celebration from Devin Haney, to me, it seems bizarre, and I'm gonna explain why and give you my honest opinion. So, for starters, he's reciting, "I want to thank my attorneys, Pat English and Woon Woon Wamty. I want to thank the commission. I want to thank the fans." He's acting like he won a Grammy. You see what I'm saying? So that's a little bit weird. He has like almost like a prepared speech. "I want to thank the fans who stood by me during the process." I mean, fans were just kind of living their life, waiting, you know, day by day. We just watched Tank fight versus Frank Martin. Beautiful performance by Tank Davis. So I don't even understand what this is even about. He's acting like he's pulling a note out of his pocket because he just got an Academy Award after putting in years of hard work. And it almost sounds like, almost, dare I say, bigger than what it is. Like he beat a murder case and he's coming home and got exonerated. That's just based on whoever wrote this PR and whoever said this stuff. Like, "I want to thank the commission and thanks the fans who stood by me during this whole process." Like as if the boxing fans were showing up to trial dates, and it really was handled by the New York State Athletic Commission behind closed doors. That's for starters. This is my honest opinion. In addition, the clip you've seen at the beginning where Devin posted a video and he's dancing. First of all, he has no rhythm. I don't know why he continues to dance, right? But I digress. So he's doing these awkward dances and it's almost like celebratory, like he just scored a touchdown or, as I said, won an Oscar award or a Nobel Peace Prize or Grammy or something. And I just find that to be a bit weird. Now, I am a competitive person myself. So I personally, this is just my personal opinion. You're on my channel. I'm giving my personal opinion. I could even understand maybe to your team or behind closed doors kind of celebrating like, okay, we got the undefeated record back. I'm just talking, when I'm saying this, I'm talking about the public show of celebration, as opposed to just saying something a little bit more basic and, hey, I'm a clean athlete, what happened to me was messed up, you know, anything like that. Like, to be dancing and happy and jovial because you got your undefeated record back, given how that fight looked, I could even understand it if the fight was close. To me, the fight was not close. Devin Haney got smoked. Now, if Ryan tested positive, which he did, then what happened. And I said, I'll let the commission handle that. They handled that. They assessed the situation, heard both sides. Ryan's being penalized about $1.1 million. He's getting docked. He has to participate in some random testing, and he's going to be suspended from the date of the fight, April 20th, till next year. So he can't compete for a year. So basically until April 20th, 21st, 2025. That's his punishment. But I find it weird, the celebration. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper in this video. Make sure you stay to the end. The other reason is because I feel the Haneys are in between these two worlds. Like there's this level of duality. His dad is screaming East Oakland and Bay Area, and I'm a street dude. When he was talking to Floyd Mayweather, Bill Haney said, nobody care about that BS 50-0. This was before the no contest and before Devin became undefeated. He said, that don't mean ish in the streets, Floyd Mayweather. No one cares that you're undefeated. Now all of a sudden the Haneys are bragging that Devin Haney is back undefeated on a technicality. How can you trust these words? Let me say it again for the slow people in the back. When Bill Haney had that argument on Instagram Live with Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd was like, what's my record? What's my record? No, you tell me. Tell me how many fights I have? What's my record? And he said that to Bill Haney. Bill Haney copped the attitude like, man, nobody care about that. Nobody care about that 50-0. Get that out of here. That don't mean in the streets. And he's like, I'm in the streets still. I'm in the streets still. But then you're celebrating almost, I'm not saying Ryan got locked up because he's not getting imprisoned, but this is kind of the closest thing for boxing. You know, somebody getting jammed up, can't fight. You're rejoicing. You're a street dude. And you know, that's why I said that duality. You're saying like, oh, we're hard and streets and Oakland and all this type of stuff. And I'm in the street still, but you're filling out paperwork to get Ryan maxed out. And then doing dance videos when he gets suspended. That's why for me, if that was my brand, I would at least celebrate kind of on the low, you know what I'm saying? In private, and just put out a little statement. You got, I guess, what you wanted, and, you know, keep it rocking, keep it pushing. So me, that's how I would get down if I was in their position, which I'm not. The other thing is to celebrate in a fight that was really a nightmare for Devin the Dream Haney. Also, something about my competitiveness and me being a realist, it just wouldn't work for me. Like, I'm not going to rejoice and like over celebrate becoming undefeated again and having essentially a loss expunged and wiped away on a technicality. I wouldn't over brag about that. I'm telling you, me personally, Devin is doing what he's doing. So he's free to do this. We're in America. It's a free country. I'm telling you, boxing ego, I wouldn't celebrate that. That's not like this high. I would, for real, I would be concerned. Like, what's my future look like? I took a beating. I got battered. This guy has something in his system. What's the next move? And I'll be working in the gym trying to get better and things like that, and watching tape to see where I went wrong. Because you guys could say whatever you want, but having a SARM in your system that he had, Ostarine, I'm telling you, that's not how PEDs work. You can't take a SARM for 2 days and boom, this is the sole reason why you were able to, like, it doesn't necessarily give you power and timing and things like that. That's not how it works. So yes, Ryan had it in his system. Yes, he got penalized for it. Yes, he popped dirty. I have no beef with that. People could say whatever they want. I know you guys want me to be wrong. Nothing I said was wrong. In fact, everything I said with this situation has been right. Devin Haney's team, here's another thing. Devin Haney's team requested through their legal, like they were pushing this with the pen through their attorney that Devin Haney thanked. They were pushing for the commission to have Ryan Garcia in the most trouble he could possibly have. One of the conditions that they were pushing for was to have Ryan Garcia given a second loss. So it would show that Devin Haney beat Ryan Garcia, and he would have a victory on his record, and his actual number would go up and Ryan's would go down. It would have 2 losses. So basically, he wanted the New York State Athletic Commission to set a precedence for New York State and give him the victory. This was bizarre. That was such a bizarre request. And people, it's funny to see, I know what I say because I'm there when I say it. It's funny to see people try to put words in my mouth and say, oh, you said that. What I said is on wax. What I told you is, I don't see the commission giving Devin Haney a +1 victory. There seems to be confusion. Some people say, oh, haha, you said he wouldn't be undefeated. Never said that. That's not what Devin Haney wanted. And I will show you. This is Ryan Garcia's team. It says Team Haney is thirsty for a W, a win. They can't let go of the fact that they as a team underperformed and underestimated Ryan Garcia. This is Ryan Garcia's representation, his attorney. They want something to blame, so they're attempting to cast blame for the loss on Ryan's weight, which they agreed to and accepted a large money payment, and now the VADA sample finding, which is nothing more than supplement contamination issue, right? In case you idiots needed more proof, Ring TV, they posted the article about it. Devin Haney calls for the New York State Athletic Commission to change the fight outcome to a DQ loss for Ryan Garcia, right? So we're not talking about the same things. So it's so funny to see people who are ill-informed and they think they're schooling me on what's going on in boxing. It says, in this context, the commission has full authority to issue a disqualification that would change the bout to a win for Mr. Haney, Devin Haney, by disqualification. On behalf of Mr. Haney, we request that change in addition to such suspension deemed appropriate by the commission. So again, let me explain this. We unpack. Devin Haney didn't want a no contest, no decision, which is the standard issue, which is what I said. A no contest, no decision is basically almost neutral, like the fight never took place. That's what that is. He didn't want that. He wanted Ryan punished for a very long time, and he wants the fight to reflect that he beat Ryan Garcia, which the commission did not do. And again, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. That's the difference. So if Devin Haney's legal team would have fully got their way, then Ryan probably would have been banished from boxing. And like Bill Haney even said, give him a lifetime ban, which I told you also wouldn't happen. But in addition, Devin Haney's record, if it was changed to a DQ, aka disqualification, Devin's record would be 32-0 because the fight would have showed that it happened and it would show that Devin Haney won. That's not what they gave him. What they did is they gave him a no contest, no decision, which is what I said would happen. And it's almost like the fight didn't happen. So it's like he didn't have 32 fights, which he really did have 32 fights, but his record says 31-0. So he doesn't have a +1. That's what some of you guys don't understand. And it's so funny to see people try to correct me. Like, oh, Ego, you said. No, I said Devin Haney's team, they wanted a victory. This is not what they got. They got a no contest. And if you're confused, rewind this track and picture me rolling. Now, the funny thing is, Devin Haney, he then, after they ruled, the commission ruled, Devin Haney tried to walk it back and double back and act like he didn't want to win via disqualification. But I just showed you that's what his team was pushing for. So how are you going to now, because you didn't get it, how are you going to act like you didn't want to win like that, but you sent your lawyers and your legal dogs to the commission snitching, and they just didn't honor that because that's not, they have their own protocol, right? So Devin Haney said in a tweet, "No BS though, I'm happy it wasn't a disqualification because I wouldn't want to win like that. Once this suspension is over, Ryan Garcia, let's run it back. Clean on an even playing field, biggest fight in boxing." Right? So the Haneys continue to do a whole lot of double talk and double backing. He sent his legal team to change this to a disqualification. That's what they were requesting. I've already had a paperwork party and showed you that. And in this video, I also showed you articles of that. The content is all there. That's why he put out this tweet saying, for real though, no BS, I'm glad we didn't get our way and get a DQ because I wouldn't want to win like that. That's incorrect. If you didn't want to win like that, then why didn't you leave the commission alone? And why did you send your lawyers to request that? Because that's how you wanted to win. Like, why would you have a legal representation and then they don't convene with you and they just go rogue and start asking for stuff that you're not even asking for? So again, this is a classic case of you didn't get what you wanted. So as a result, you're trying to walk it back now and double back like that's not what y'all wanted, but it is what you wanted because you sent your lawyer to put in a request and we have the paperwork, which is what I talked about. It's similar to a guy who tries to approach a girl at the club and then the girl's not feeling him. And let's say he's ugly or his breath stank, whatever. And now the girl he just tried to pop at and get at, she's like, no, he's like, you want to dance, sweetheart? And she's like, nah, I'm okay. And he's like, F you, B, I don't even care. You ugly as sin anyway, blah, blah, blah. And he cussed the girl out because she didn't give him no motion. That's what it's the equivalent of, right? You just asked this girl to buy her a drink or to dance or ask for her phone number. Because you got rejected, then you try to flip it on her and act like she's ugly, right? It's basically what Devin Haney did. I'm giving you guys analogies. We unpacked. You sent your legal team to request something from the commission. You wanted a disqualification, and I told you that wasn't going to be likely. I said I wasn't the commission, so they have the final say. They have the authority to change it to a DQ if they deem that was possible. But after they met up, the committee decided to do what they normally would do, which is what I told you, a no contest, no decision, fine, and a suspension. This is everything that I said. The videos are still up. So I just find it, the whole thing is weird. Ryan, he had something in his system wasn't supposed to be. He's not copping to it. He's saying it was a contamination issue. The reality is he was going to face some kind of punishment, which is what I told you. And they came down with the punishment. To be honest, this don't even seem like that strict. I'm actually surprised that the Haneyaks like this punishment. Because if you felt that you're wrong, it's not really that stringent to me of a punishment. Ryan Garcia made 30, 50 mil fighting Tank alone. So him forfeiting 1.1 million, I mean, he probably does that in poker games, you know, a couple poker games or something like that. So that's the money part. I don't think that's that strict, you know, that he has to give up $1 million. And then he has a backdated 1-year suspension and is retroactive from the date of the fight. So you look at other fighters, Terrence Crawford, he hasn't fought since Errol Spence fight. So by the time he fights Israel Madrimov, he's been out the ring over a year. Tank Davis, he fought Ryan Garcia his last fight. And up until the Frank Martin fight, he had some legal trouble at the end of the year. He had a little prison stint. He took some time off to be with his family for the holidays. So all in all, from his last fight with Ryan Garcia to his real last fight, which was Frank Martin, he had been out the ring over a year. Errol Spence, he's about to fight in October. He's been out the ring over a year. So for these heavy hitter fighters, being out the ring for like 8 months to a year is not all that abnormal. So to me, that's not that strict of a punishment for Ryan Garcia. Now, Ryan, he's ranting. He's taking it how he wants. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to like the not having the ability to perform at your job, but money wise, I think he'll be all right. And, I was just surprised that Devin Haney seemingly is happy. But again, I think he's happy more so with his record being undefeated again. But I've already told you this. Nothing I said changes, people. Devin Haney, he's undefeated. Congratulations. Now it shows you're 31-0 with 15 knockouts. Cool. But guess what? The public can't unsee what they already saw. So yeah, your record based on Ryan's failure to complete his drug test has you back undefeated. But you think fighters that are in or around your division are looking at you as unbeatable and undefeated like they were looking at you before, coming off the Regis Prograis performance and stuff like that? Absolutely not. And I'm here to tell you, newsflash, buddy, neither are the fans. The fans seen you and they seen technical deficiencies that you had in your fight game in the Ryan Garcia fight. So Devin can celebrate and moonwalk and dance and, do all this stuff. But to me, I'm just saying my personal opinion, it's not really a celebratory moment. The other thing I find weird is Ryan's out of here for a year. That's his fate. And I told you, we're going to let the commission handle it. And I still feel that it's weird that Bill Haney keeps saying he from the streets, 50-0 in the streets, but then they were putting in paperwork on Ryan Garcia, trying to get him in the most trouble possible and trying to gain sympathy with the public. And, saying even before Ryan failed a drug test, Devin Haney was saying that Ryan's not a good role model and there's kids watching him. That just doesn't sound like street dude talk. My personal opinion. Asking someone to get the max sentence and get disqualification and get a win like that, then you don't get it, and then you're acting like you didn't want to get the win like that just because New York didn't give you the win like that. A little bit weird. Again, people aren't going to forget the fight that we seen. It's just what it is. It's unfortunate. You can cry about it, say, oh, it's so life is unfair and all this type of stuff. But people aren't going to forget those images of what went on in the fight. You're undefeated, your record, your box rec, congratulations. But me, again, I wouldn't be dancing and pop locking over something like that when the world's seen me perform under the bright lights after calling Ryan Garcia a C-class fighter and saying you're an A-plus fighter. And now you're rejoicing like, hey, look at me, I'm undefeated. Haha, yes, I'm back. I don't know, like you beat a case, or like I said earlier, you won an Oscar award. That just seems a bit bizarre to me. And I'm not even saying, and people could do whatever they want. I'm telling you what I would do. At best, celebrate with your people, go on a vacation and be like, yeah, we won, we back undefeated, what's the move, stuff like that. I'm talking about going on Twitter and ranting and acting like Devin is trying to flex. He said, where's all those change your bio to 31-1 uckers at? You're doing all this stuff. It's not getting the public on your side. I'm just here to tell you that. And I think it's extremely bizarre. Ryan's out of here for a year per the suspension. That makes sense to me. The commission ruled, they deemed a year suspension, so he's gone. He had the positive Ostarine test. But Devin, who's back undefeated, why is he saying in his social media post that he's going to be gone for a year or two. You didn't fail a test. You said that, oh, this cheater couldn't knock me out and all this type of stuff. So why do you need to take a year or two off? Again, boxing ego continues to be right. Ego Stradamus strikes again. I told you, based on the level of punishment he took in that fight, he would be best suited to take 9-10 months to a year off. Now Devin Haney is rejoicing about being undefeated, but quiet as kept. There has to be some level of knowledge and acknowledging that you were in a tough one with Ryan Garcia. Otherwise, there's no reason for you to take an extenuated layoff or whatnot. If you're so good and you're the next Floyd, then why you need to take a year off? It doesn't make sense to me, unless you understand that Ryan Garcia put pause on you. Before, his team was saying stuff like, oh, we don't want to continue any negotiations with Sandor Martin or Top Rank or anybody else until this is resolved. Guess what? We got a ruling. So why don't you fight your mandatory Sandor Martin? Good fight. Sandor Martin's not the biggest puncher. Top Rank won the purse bid, but it looks like Devin Haney wants to just take time off and be away from the sport. In my estimation, if he's gone for too long, that's not going to be good for his career, right? You do need to take some time off to regain yourself, but I don't know. Like I said, Devin's in between a rock and a hard spot. You have this mandatory. You're likely, it sounds like Devin's going to vacate his belt because he keeps saying stuff like, I already had all the belts. You had all the belts from Kambosos, bro. Let's just cut the fluff. You beat Kambosos for all the belts. Life goes on. You're in a new weight class. It's a reset button. You did good with Regis Prograis. You didn't do so hot with Ryan Garcia. That's where you're at right now. So, you know, people want to know my thoughts on this. For me, Ryan Garcia, he's out. He's on the sideline. Cool. The commission, they ruled how they, like I said, I'm going to leave it to the commission. And they did their job. Good job. Ryan pay his debt to society. He'll be out. But Devin Haney is still an uphill battle. Like I said, church.